So glad you're practicing with us here virtually. I'm Nicole here at Metro Yoga. Might look a little bit familiar to you all. Wow, I've never live streamed a class before. I'm a little bit nervous. I want to let you know, let us know dates and times that work for you. We'll be sharing our videos in other ways. They will stay on this page so you can check back in at a time that works better for you, but we want your feedback. As always, we're trying to cater to you, especially in these really difficult and crazy times. And I gotta say, I miss you all so much here at the studio. Monday morning was just not the same without you. So why don't we get started? Like I said, this is a really stressful time with a little bit of extra mindfulness. I don't do a lot of breathing exercises, but today I would really like to try one aimed at reducing stress and anxiety. So, why don't we close our eyes, center in, we're sitting in our easy, comfortable seat. We're taking note of what's going on in the body, what feels good, where you might be holding your tension. We're relaxing shoulders away from face. We're softening the muscles in our jaw. Our eyes are comfortably heavy. Actively trying to let go of any physical tension. And then let's move away from the external. Putting the focus on our breath. Visualizing, if you could, watching the inhales flow in through your nose and back out through your nose. And as we work to clear our mind, I want to go into that stress-reducing breathing technique we talked about. So we're going to be breathing in thirds. You might want to even take your right hand to your belly, your left over your heart. Imagine, if you could, inhaling only a third of your lungs up, expanding first just the chest, then deeper into the abdomen, deeper yet, inflating the belly, and we let it out the same way. So inhaling, a little pause. Inhaling now deeper into the diaphragm. The third breath, inflating the belly completely. We breathe out, exhale, the lower third. In for a third. In. Out for a third. Out for a third. Out. When times start to get stressful, you can come back to this very controlled breathing. You might be noticing the calming effects already. Let's take one more round before we get moving. Inhaling, filling up just the chest. A little lower. Third breath, inflating the belly. Exhaling the same way it came in. Maybe you'd like to set an intention for this practice, a word or a phrase, something you come back to if your mind does start to wander off. Let's inhale that intention down deep. And let's get started, bringing our right ear off to our right shoulder. Letting the chin fall across the chest. Left ear, left shoulder. Let's tuck and roll. Little half circles to begin, feeling the back of the neck release. Staying present, staying focused. I'm relaxing and softening. Maybe you add some full circles, but only if it feels good in the back of your neck. Continuing to focus on your breathing. If you're taking full circles, reversing direction. If you're sticking with half, holding anywhere that needs an extra moment to release. And then inhale, lift your head up, sit up tall. Let's start with some simple twisting. We're going to inhale, come up. And we're going to take our left hand to our right knee and our right hand behind us. We're going to zip up tall, find length in the spine. Exhale, look over our right shoulder. Making lots of space in the spine. Every inhale lifts you up. Every exhale allows you to look further over your shoulder, but be mindful of your neck. You don't have to force this pose. It's a gentle opening along the spine. Inhale, sweep your hands up. Take the right hand to the left knee, the left hand behind you. We're finding length with every inhale. Exhale is allowing for deeper twists, which means more opening in the spine. Connecting the breath to this pose. Every inhale, finding length, even when there's none left to be found. Every exhale, imagine it bringing out the body, bringing release. Inhale, sweep your hands overhead, and place your hands on the mat, coming into a tabletop. Yogis, this whole practice is going to be aimed at reducing stress. It's going to be a little bit slower and a little gentler than a regular Vinyasa practice. All tools you can take with you off the mat. So a little softness in the elbows, fingers spread. Let's inhale, lift our chest for our cow pose, putting a tiny dip in our low back. We'll exhale, round. And the focus here is really connecting breath to movement. Inhales tell you when to lift. Exhales tell you when to round. You can treat this like another breathing exercise. Sometimes I call it a moving meditation in my classes, because we're allowing breath to take over and tell body what to do. Just flowing through these two poses, warming up the spine, creating lots of space in the body. Let's take one more inhale together. And exhale brings us back to neutral table. Fingers are nice and spread. I'm going to flip around so you can see what I'm doing here. Let's inhale, sweep our right hand up. Give our wrist a couple rolls. And dive our fingers as far as they'll go. We're going to come on to our right shoulder and our right temple. We're coming into our threaded needle pose. Left hand reaching, staying under the left shoulder or to the low back. Holding this posture and allowing for a lot of space to be made in your shoulder blade. Left hand comes down. Inhale, right fingers up. Take a nice big reach and plant your hand. So same deal on the left. We're inhaling up. Give the wrist a few rolls. If you've spent your morning on a computer, the wrist might need a little awakening. Reach your left fingers, coming onto left shoulder, left temple. Just allowing the weight of gravity to help you find release in your shoulder blade. Right hand in front. Reaching on the mat, or coming to low back for the half bind, your call. Deep breaths here. Imagining the inhales, loosening up the shoulder, the exhales carrying away tension. Right hand comes to the mat. Press it in as you inhale, sweep left hand up, big reach. Plant your left hand. Spread through fingers, take a round of cat and cow, just loosening up the spine one more time, resetting. Come back to neutral, leaving your hips where they're at over your knees. Walk your hands forward, melt your chest to the mat. A little bit of heart opening, a front shoulder opener, a kind of counter to those big back shoulder openers we just done. Inhale, walk up. Exhale, arc, a little cat counter. Inhale, your cow to neutralize, back to table. Let's spend a moment with the bottoms of our feet. We're going to give our toes a curl under and walk back. You never have to bring your hands off the mat, especially if it's very intense in your feet. Now, if you are looking for a bigger stretch in your arches and your toes, you could walk up. Listen to your feet, listen to your body. Fill in deeply. Exhale away any thoughts not related to the intention or the breath. Take a little walk forward. Uncurl your feet. Give the tops a little tap. Wake those toes up. Give your toes a curl one more time. This time we'll lift our seat and we'll find our downward facing dog. Pressing our heels to the mat. By bending through opposite knee, we're just opening up our legs. Our calves, our shoulders are soft. Walk your feet to your hands. Knees are soft. We're going to hang heavy in a forward fold. Forward folds can be really calming poses. Just be sure you're not straining in the knees. You could always grab your elbows, although today I'm going to interlace behind my head and find a little shoulder opening here, maybe sway, releasing low back. I always like to take opposite elbow, opposite knee, a little twist for the shoulders. Release your hold. Take a nice slow roll to stand, and it is going to be a slow roll. I will be the last thing to come up. Standing here in a tall mountain pose, we're grounded through our feet. Give your shoulders a couple shoves back into space. Lifting up your chest. All right, yogis. Let's take one of those very slow flows. Just build a little heat. We'll get moving, warm up all of our muscles further. Inhale, bring your hands up. Exhale, hinge. Come up halfway. Reach your ears out of your shoulders, flatten your back. Take your hands to the mat. We're going to step back into a high plank. Good opportunity to really work form here at home. You know you can always drop to your knees first and take that slow lower to your belly, trying to keep your elbows in. We're going to inhale up a tiny little cobra. No help from the hands, just your strong back. Hands down. Toes curl, seat lifts up. Downward facing, coming in for some petals. Take your right toes, inhale them up to the ceiling. Bring your foot between your hands. Then you're taking a real sun A here. Drop your left knee down, uncurl your toes. Left hand spread, inhale your right fingertips up. Just a little twist. Lots of twisting today. Twists are considered detoxifying, plus they just feel really good in the back. Right hand comes down. Give the left toes a curl under. Step the right foot back and find your downward facing dog. Again, taking those luxurious little petals. Inhale your left toes up. Get a little reach going, a little stretch in the right hamstring. Step your foot between your hands. Knee stacks, right knee comes down. Right toes uncurl. We're going to inhale, left hand up. Trying to stack wrist over shoulder. Left hand comes down. Right toes curl under. This time we'll step to the front. We'll close it up. We'll inhale that back flattening half lift. We'll take the dive. Let's inhale, come up. Exhale, go back bend. Open your heart, look up. Inhale to center. Exhale, big hinge. Come up halfway lift. Hands to mat. We are stepping back into another high plank. You know knees are always an option. You know lowering to the belly is an option. Or you could come halfway to chaturanga if it's within your practice. Tops of feet press into the mat as you inhale your back bend. Give toes a curl, lift the seat. Back to downward facing we go. Coming in for some petals. This time let's take a big inhale. Travel to the top. Come up half. Take a dive. Inhale, come up all the way. Exhale, another back bend. Inhale to center. And we're going to get into our chair from standing. So the weight's in the heels. Chest is lifted. We're going to bring our left hand forward, our right fingers back. Take a peek at your knees. Sometimes that left one wants to peek in front of the right. Line up the knees, engage the core. Take a little look back at your right fingers. Big opening in the neck. Inhale your right hand forward. Exhale your left fingers back. Don't let that right knee come in front of the left. Line up the knees, engage the core. We want the twist from the waistline, so that way we know we're opening our back. Inhale left forward. Sit down deep. Shoulders soft. Inhale, fill. Exhale, hinge. Come up half. High plank. Step back. Take the flow, your variation, whether that's knees to belly or to chaturanga. Inhale the back bend. Meet in the downward facing. Pedaling. Spread through your hands. Inhale your right toes up. Get a nice reach going. Take your foot between your hands. Open your left foot 45 degrees. So if you're using a mat, your toes are sort of angling towards the top left corner. We'll bring our hands up. We want knees stacked over ankle. We want to be pressing through pinky edge of our back foot. Our shoulders are soft. Let's take our fingers behind, interlace our fingers, lift our heart up to the ceiling. Big inhales. One more. Exhale your hands overhead. Take a bow inside of your right leg, a little humble warrior. Drop your hands, frame your foot, step back into your downward facing dog, pedal. Inhale, float your left toes, get a nice reach going. Step your foot between, open right foot, that 45-degree angle pressing through pinky edge. Come on up. Shoulders soft, knees stacking. Little opening in low back as we press through pinky edge of our right foot, keeping our knee nice and safe. Take hands to the low back. Interlace. Draw your knuckles down. Lift your heart up to the ceiling. Lots of space for the heart, making room for all the compassion we've been feeling lately. Big inhale. Exhale, take your bow. Inhale, fill. Exhale, frame. Right toes turn to the front as you step back into your downward facing. Pedaling and pressing away. Let's take a walk to the front. Inhale, up half. Exhale, dive. And for the inhale, we'll sweep our hands up, take a seat in our chair. Shoulders are soft, weight is in heels. Let's come into a balanced pose. Eagle, leaving no room but to concentrate on this very tricky balance. So shift all the weight into your left foot by picking up the heel of your right. Find those connection points in your heel and your ball and walk your right foot over. You could kickstand, you could float, you could wrap your toes. Doesn't matter where you're at today. Right hand comes, or I should say right elbow comes over left. Maybe your palms touch, maybe it's the backs of your hands, or maybe you bring your palms to your shoulders. Giving yourself a nice big hug to feel the space behind your shoulders release. Our focus is either on our forearms or on a non-moving space in front of us. Inhale, sink a little deeper as you exhale. Unwind. Woo. Take a couple steps. Inhale, sweep your hands overhead. Big hinge. Opening up through the legs. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, a bigger hinge. Inhale, lift your chest up, bring your seat back to chair pose. Setting up that steady chair, taking up left, shifting all the weight to right, putting it in those heel ball connection points so you're not tempted to clench your foot. We're locking left over for a kickstand, a float, or a wrap. Same thing with the arms, left over right. Maybe your palms are together, maybe this side is backs and hands, or hands and shoulders, that doesn't matter. So long as you find space behind your shoulder blades, you're able to focus your breath, get a little compression in all 14 major joints. Let's unwrap the foot planted, unwrap the hands, inhale, lift, exhale, hinge. Let's come up halfway and fold. So at the beginning, I had you interlace your fingers behind the head or grab your elbows. You could definitely take those two poses. Or you could interlace, drop your hands over your head, a bigger shoulder stretch. You could grab your toes. You could put your fingers under your heels or under your toes. You could give your wrists a massage with your toes. So many options. So long as you're exhaling, releasing tension, freeing the mind of any thoughts. Release the hold. Inhale, come up halfway. Let's take one more Vinyasa flow, rinsing out our spines together, stepping back into the high plank, lowering however you'd like to lower, whether that's all or half. Inhaling the back bend and meeting in the downward facing. Take your knees to the mat. Uncurl your toes. Take your forehead to the mat. Reach your fingers. A little child's pose, nice and grounding. A big back opening. A moment to just focus on breathing. Playing with clearing out thoughts and finding the present moment completely. Inhale, come up through a tabletop. Send your legs back as you come onto your elbows. Stack your elbows right under your shoulders. We're going to come into a little Sphinx pose. So your gaze, it's maybe 18 inches in front of you at a non-moving point. We want the neck nice and neutral. I always like to offer, though, a little ear to shoulder as a way to release the sides of our neck here. Of course, if stillness works better for your body, by all means. To keep the low back safe, we do want to keep the belly engaged like we're pulling it off the mat. Now take your palms further away from the body and over to the corners of the mat. Fingers spread out like seal flippers. We are coming into our seal pose, soft elbows. Bigger compression in the low back. Chest lifted. Let's lower. Make a pillow with your hands, bend your knees, windshield wiper, get some release in your low back. Sticking with our theme of shoulder opening, let's lower our feet. Take the right fingers out. Let me get this mic out of the way. Right fingers out in line with right shoulders. I don't know if you can see mine. My right cheek is going to go to the mat, and I'm going to roll on to the right side. So my left knee, you'll see I put a bend in it, and I plant my foot. But you can definitely take your leg long on your mat. How's it feel? If you want a bigger stretch, you could take your left fingers, reach for your right fingers. They don't have to touch. Or you could take your left hand to your low back, a little half pound. Let's come over onto our bellies, chin or forehead down. Take both palms under your shoulders. Let's inhale up, a little cobra. Lower. Bend, windshield wiper. Legs long, so same thing on the left. We're reaching our left fingers in line with our shoulders. I like to keep my palm down. I'm going to roll to the side. My left temple is on the mat. My right knee is bent and my foot is planted. Though if you want to lie it long on your left, by all means. Maybe you reach back with your right hand. Maybe you're going for your left fingers, or maybe you're just taking your hand to your back. Come onto your belly, right hand steadies you, left comes under your shoulder, inhale up through a table up, and we're going to open our back one more time with the child's pose, nice and grounding. A good place to breathe into the backs of your lungs. To concentrate just on the breath. To let go of any thoughts you may be thinking. Inhale, come up to your palms, tabletop. Come on to your seat. Swing your legs out long. Another one of those feel-good forward folds. First, we're coming into a staff pose, finding length in our spine. We're going to take a nice big hinge forward. Doesn't matter what you grab onto. What matters is that you're inhaling a little length and exhaling to find release and hinge, keeping knees soft. Head clear, you're just being here and present in the moment. Inhale, float up. Find some length. Take a reach for your toes. We're going to use a little core to come to our back. Core the whole way down. Oh, reach your fingers, get a full body stretch. Create lots of length. Let's open up the left side of our bodies by finding a banana shape. We'll take our feet to the right corner of our mat, our fingers to the right corner of our mat. Our hips stay in the center, and that's how we get this nice opening in left side body. A little banana asana for you. Inhale, come center. I like to reach at the top, create some length, reset. And then we'll take everything to the left corners except for our hips, which stay here in the center, and allow for this right side body opening. Inhale, everything center. Big reach. Bend your knees. Plant your feet. We already took a couple back bends. We will take a couple more. We're setting up some bridge poses. Walking heels in. Reaching fingers towards your heels. Palms are pressing to the mat. Let's inhale, roll our hips up. Trying to line hips with knees. I always like to say a little squeeze of your knees together, even though your legs are parallel, to focus on the right parts of the body. Though I heard a cue I really like about pressing into your big toes, and it'll give you that same sensation. I'm going to interlace my hands here underneath me, but your palms could be on the mat if you so choose. Let's take one more inhale, lift up. Let's release our fingers. Exhale, roll down. Low back relaxes to the mat. Take your knees side to side. A windshield wiper to release. Plant your feet. Let's come in for one more bridge. So walking heels in, getting them under the knees, palms down, fingers reaching. Complete exhale. Inhale, we lift. Maybe pressing into the toes or the knees. Strong low body. I'm going to change things up here. I'm going to inhale, bring my hands over my head. Seeing how that changes things. Still keeping my hips lifted. Sighing out and exhale. I'm going to take one more inhale just like this. Exhale my hands back to my sides. One more breath. Exhale, lower. I'll relax to the mat, take my knees side to side. You do the same here with me. For a little extra release, I'm going to draw my knees into my chest. Squeeze down, take a little rock for the low back. Plant soles. So you'll often see in a yoga class, we're doing back bends in 3s and 5s. So we took those 2 in the middle of our practice. I'm going to have you come into one more bridge. Fingers reaching towards heels, heels walking in, exhaling, inhaling with breath. Strong back, strong bodies. Focusing just on breath. All other thoughts disappear. One more inhale. Exhale, lower. Back relaxes, knees side to side. I'm going to draw my knees into my chest one more time. Exhale, squeeze, take a rock. Then I'll bring my feet up. Join me in a happy baby. Grabbing onto the outsides of my feet. Knees are open, opening up low back, insides of hips. A rock might feel nice. Maybe you prefer stillness. Release the feet. Bring them to the neck. Now for the backs of the hips. Take your right knee. Bring it on, or I should say your right ankle. Bring it on your left knee. Make a figure four for a reclined pigeon. You can interlace behind your left thigh with your fingers. I like to go top of left shin. We're softening our back into the mat. We're allowing the muscles of our face to release. Feeling the right side hip open up. Good place to just focus on breath. Hips are said to be emotional centers. So what could you let go of here by breathing in deeply and exhaling as a clearing out? If your hip is starting to loosen, you want a little deeper stretch, you could take the smallest little shift to the left. We don't want to come out of alignment, but we do want to deepen the pose ever so slightly. All right, last inhale. Exhale your foot to the mat. Uncross. Take your knees side to side, little releasing windshield wiper. Plant your feet. Bring your left ankle to your right knee. Make that pigeon figure four. Find where you'd like to hold the pose and then allow your shoulders to soften. The muscles in your face release. Nothing you have to do or worry about. Just hold the pose and allow your hip to relax open with time. Just checking in with the alignment. Do you need to take that tiny shift to the right? Just to truly find the release if you notice you start to go left. We're always looking to evenly distribute the body and the body within the posture. Big inhale. Exhale, right foot down. Uncross left. Take your knees side to side. Find some release. Bring your feet to the mat. Take your soles together, your knees apart. The closer the heels to the body, the more intense this will be. You can always walk them away and open up this reclined bound ankle or Supta Baddha Konasana. I'm going to take my right hand to my belly and my left to my heart, just like we did at the beginning of our time together. Instead of taking that 1/3 pattern breath, breathing, we're simply finding length in our inhales and our exhales. Each inhale going deeper into the belly. Each exhale, release. Know you can always come back to breath off your mat when the thoughts get overwhelming. Yogis, let's remove our hands from our bellies and our hearts. Take our knees together as though we were closing a book. A little side to side. Release your hips with a windshield wiper. Draw your knees to your chest. Exhale, squeeze, take a little rock. And gently set your knees to the right, keeping both shoulders on the mat. We'll finish up our time together, as I so often do, with a twist. Maybe you'd like to reach your fingers. Maybe you'd like to face the ceiling. If it would feel okay in your neck, you could take a look to the left. Again, think of this pose as wringing out anything that no longer serves you. Bring your head center. Take your knees center. Give them a little hug, a little rock and squeeze. And then gently set the knees to the left again. Maybe reaching your fingers, maybe looking to the right, only if it feels good in your head. Inhale, filling. Exhale, releasing. What could you let go of here in this pose? Bring your head center. Draw your knees into the chest one final time. One final rock and release. Inhale, draw your forehead up to your knees, big squeeze. And release to Savasana. The most important pose we can take. We've prepared our bodies for this moment of stillness. Let's enjoy it together. We're going to feel our ankles relax and roll open. Give them a little roll if you need to get them there. Feel your knees release. It's as though your legs are delightfully heavy and melted into your mat. The hips are soft and relaxed, no tension left there. Your shoulders down to the fingertips, that delightful heaviness as though we're just melting into the mat. The muscles in the face are completely soft, the eyes are heavy. Our breath is slow and steady. Inhale, drawing awareness back to body. Inhale, put a little movement to the fingers and the toes. Waking the whole body back up, maybe taking the head side to side. Reach your fingers overhead, reach your toes, put lots of length into your body. A big wake up stretch for the rest of your day. Come on to the right. Pause in here to collect all the good things we created, all the space and peace. And inhale. Meet me back in easy seat. All right, yogis. Thank you so much for joining me here on the mat, on your mat. And namaste.